Hello, listeners, and welcome back as we are continuing on part two of Loving Again After a Loss or Divorce. So, we are back. Hopefully, y'all listened to part one. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed what we've given y'all so far. We have a shout out this week, right, baby?
We do. This week we want to shout out our Facebook. What do you want to call her? Our Facebook super star.
Super fan. Facebook super
Yeah,
fan.
I like that actually. Yeah, our Facebook super fan, and that is
Aunt Joyce.
Thank you, Auntie, for every time we post. Giving us a response, giving us some feedback, always reminding us of your love, and then just also answering the questions that we often post. So we greatly
Giving
appreciate
that wisdom
all
that
the time.
We take in all the time when you do give it. So
Yeah, so we appreciate you. Thank you so very much just for always engaging with us and always giving us that extra support that we need online. So thank you. We love you.
Yeah. And anybody else that gives us feedback. Coach
Yeah,
John
definitely.
does from time to time. Vaughn does. So
Yep,
we thank
everyone.
y'all. We thank all of y'all for your feedback.
Yes. I was getting caught up this morning.
Oh, and
on,
Cleo too.
Yes,
Cleo
that's
as
what I was
well.
about to say.
Yep.
I was getting caught up this morning and a few other people. So we appreciate you all for always engaging with us. It means so much to us. So thank you.
It really does. All right, so let's get back to where we kind of paused that at last week's episode. So I think we were in the coexisting with the ghost phase, as we called it. And that's kind of just dealing with the emotional presence of the past relationship and don't let it crowd the new one. So that's where we were kind of working.
So kind of learning how to separate the two,
how
you
to
would say?
separate the two.
Okay.
Yep.
How important do you think that is?
For us, I would say it's extremely important because there's a lot of baggage that we both have or that we could very easily bring into the new relationship. So separating that is important for me, of course. I'm just going to speak for myself. It's separating that is important for me. Just to know this is something new. Not everything I did in the past I can still do. Some things, yes, but not everything. And knowing this is a new person, I can't operate like I operated.
So what was the hardest thing that you had to get rid of and something new that you had to adopt in our relationship?
I don't know about a new thing adopting, but definitely
Well, what was one of the hardest things you had to let go?
my pride. My pride and my ego. That's definitely something God has been working with me on, especially going into this new relationship, soon to be marriage. So that's definitely one thing he's been working on in me.
Got it. Okay.
So, all right. So since we starting there, we're going to get to where we kind of left off, as I said. So I'm going to give you the widower perspective. And for me, I can't say I really felt this, but I know a lot of people who I have talked to who have lost loved ones, they feel guilty about finding love again or even finding happiness in their life after the person that they were with for a long time passed.
Okay.
They feel guilty. I can't say I've necessarily felt that way, but I'm sure some folks around me probably look at it that way. Like, why is he so happy? What's going on? But for me, it never really dawned on me that it wasn't okay to move on. Because I've always been that type of person. I don't live in the past. I don't let the past hold me down.
Okay.
So I've always been able to move on from things, whether good or bad. So I never took it that way. But a lot of people I have talked to who, lost a loved one have had that feeling.
Okay.
Like they felt guilty about it.
Got it.
Especially when, they're walking around smiling and that loved one that they were with is no longer with, and you see their family and they're still kind of grieving, and you kind of move past that. So it can definitely lead to some guilt.
Yeah, I think so. It can. But I think you have to train your mind with anything in life, not just, passing of a loved one, but anything. Like you said, I think the biggest thing is to be adaptable. You have to understand that things change. Life is always changing. And that's most important to bring into your relationship. Even I read this thing on Instagram a few days ago, and they asked this guy who had been married 40 plus years, what is the key to being married? And, everybody would sit back and say, love her or learn her, blah, blah. And he said, you have to be willing to change. He said, the woman that I married 20 years ago, 40 years ago is still not the woman that she is today, because she's changed throughout time. And he said I had to still be adaptable to change along with her, or accept her changes and love her still in the midst of her changes. And I think so often people get stuck because we're seeing, who we are today. Who we are today, you may evolve and you may not be that same person next year. So you still have to love that person through that. So I think the most important thing with the grief is learning to be adaptable and understanding that. And just to touch on what you were saying with other people, you still have to have that mindset that I'm not concerned about how they feel, because I'm not. And I think you will often tell me this and I will laugh, but I understand it now. You'll be like, this is my life. I have to live my life.
Nobody else live my life for me.
Yeah. So you realize that you had to do that for yourself. The same thing for me. I just said that, you know what? Okay, that was one season in my life. You know, I didn't go into my marriage at all thinking it would end in a divorce, obviously.
Right.
But that happened. I can't stay in that space. Right. I have to move forward. Okay, it's over. It's done. It's dead. I need to move on. Now, am I going to stay there and say, oh my God, this one guy out of millions of other guys that are out here, it didn't work out well with this one guy, so let me just, you know what, I'll never be able to be a great wife ever to another person. No, to me, that's just a foolish mindset. If things don't work on your job, and over the years, I've had 10 plus jobs. I would leave my jobs every year after I got my promotion to keep moving forward in my career. I never sat still in anything. That's not to say that I'm not a committed person. That just means when things change, I'm able to adjust accordingly. And I think you have to, because you can get stuck in that moment. Okay. You know, so what if you were stuck in grieving? What if I was stuck in grieving? We wouldn't have been able to be at a place that we were open to receive each other, or to receive the next,
the love that we are able to give each other.
That's true. Or what God has for us. And I think sometimes a lot of people can be stuck somewhere that God has something better for us, and it's kind of like that image that we'll see on like social media, where we don't want to give our little small teddy bear, but behind our back, God has this big old massive teddy bear for us with so much more. But we're so afraid to give up what we have now. So we have to be reminded that it's okay to let go. Okay. So since you touched on that, and that kind of triggered something in me, you just said, afraid of something. Do you feel that fear plays a portion? Has it ever played a portion in you feeling like history is going to repeat itself when it comes to you being a divorcee? No. Have you ever thought, you know how they say sometimes you have God on one shoulder and the devil on the other, and the devil's sometimes louder than God. Yeah, that can definitely happen. But of course, you need to be in the Word, and you need to pray so that His voice is not louder than the real voice. But nonetheless, no. Personally, me, I never felt that way. I never had fear like, oh my God, if I go into another relationship, that it's not going to work out. I didn't take that perspective on. I just took on, I'm going to try something else. I want to see if it worked. If it worked, okay, great. If it don't work, then that's fine too. Okay. That doesn't mean I'm a failure, or that doesn't mean I'm a terrible person, or that just means it's not what God has for me. So I never had fear when it came to that. I never feared that. And I think sometimes people are trapped by fear in relationships, so they stay in relationships that are not healthy because of that. Oh, I don't know if another guy gonna like me, or I'm just comfortable in this relationship. Barbara, she accepts me for how I am. You're not willing to grow and become the person that you really need to become, and you stay in a relationship that's not healthy, only because it's comfortable at that moment, or only because you fear moving forward and getting something better when you deserve it. People do it all the time because of our comfort level. Keeps us kind of in bondage. So no, I never had the fear that it wouldn't work. Even when we get married, I'm not going to have the fear that it don't work. God forbid if it doesn't work. Then again, that's... Oh, no, it's going to work. There we go. Well, we already know that. Manifesting, it's going to work. Definitely. So since you touched on that, let me ask you this question. So how do you, for folks out here who have been divorced and they kind of still feel afraid, or feel like they are the reason, or whatever it is, how do you extend grace to yourself when old defense mechanisms pop up in a new relationship? That is a good question. That really is. And I think I battled with that a lot. Because, you know me, I'm an overthinker. That you are. That you are. You might be the number one overthinker. I promise you. Coming for that number one spot. So I think of so many things, and you have really been instrumental in reminding me not to think about those things I can't control. Yes, I do tell you that a lot. And I'm learning through even this book that I'm reading now that's entitled "Do It Afraid," and it's been
A plug. We're sending a plug. So who's that? Joyce Myers.
Myers, uh-huh.
We just gave you a plug, Joyce. Matter of fact, we might tag you on this post.
But no, even as I'm reading the book, I am learning that you waste so much time giving idle thoughts or giving hypothetical thoughts your time and your attention and your energy
To stuff that don't deserve it.
that don't deserve it and things that may not even happen in our mind.
You're holding yourself back.
You really are, you know, and you're sitting here thinking about, oh, well, if this don't work, but what if it does?
What if it does? Nobody ever thinks in that mindset. What if it does?
What if it does?
And you know, me coming as a coach, I always want my kids to believe in themselves to the utmost. So I don't want you to think, oh, I missed the last 3 shots. I'm not taking another one because I'm going to miss the next one. No, your mind should be, I'm going to make that next one.
I'm going to.
And even if you miss that next one,
The next
your
one I'm still
mind
gonna
is,
make.
I'm going to make the next one.
Yeah. And that's what the book talks about, and that's where I'm kind of am in my life right now on this journey. And I'm learning that. So to answer the question, I really had to give myself a lot of grace.
Okay.
And I had to, for me, just as me, I had to surround myself with people because at that point, I wasn't strong enough to feel it myself. So I had to surround myself with people that believed it more than what I did, and that helped me because I had them in my ear, I had you in my ear, I had my mom in my ear, I had girlfriends in my ear saying, Nikita, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path, you're doing this, I had my therapist constantly reminding me what you're doing is what's best for you. Sometimes it don't feel like it, right?
No.
But and that's just a part of growth.
That's true.
Sometimes it don't feel good. We don't feel good when we out training on the field and on the stairs and stuff, but the next day when I'm able to get in my dress or I'm able to get in something that I really want to get in, it feels good then. So I just had to be around people for me that helped me give me that grace, and I had to be reminded of my own strength because sometimes you don't know your own strength until you have to tap in an area that you have to be
strong. I would
strong.
tell you that all the time. You're stronger than you know.
Yes.
You just don't realize it.
You don't realize it. You know, and that helped just being surrounded even more so. Like every morning I would listen to my gospel music. I would listen to that. I would just continue to go to church, getting spiritual assistance. So just being surrounded by that was all that helped me. Now, I don't know what helps other people, but definitely myself. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You got to find your own niche. You got to find your own thing that helps you through whatever. Like I've explained when I was grieving, I would go outside and shoot baskets. That was my relief. That was my way of getting through it. Some people might do something else. I can't speak for that, but I can tell you how I handled it.
Right.
So since we're touching on that, let's get into what I'm going to call it. We're going to give some comforting advice on how to deal with dual emotions.
Okay. Before we do that, I know you was talking about how you would go outside and shoot and that would help you. What point did you realize when you were doing that, probably daily or weekly or whatever, a few days a week, what point did you realize, oh, I'm getting a little better in this process as you were grieving?
I would stop going out there as much. That was the start of it.
Wow.
And then the second one was when I did go out there, I would just be reflecting on future stuff. I wasn't thinking about the past anymore.
Really?
So I'm out there just shooting, talking to God. Where before, when I literally, like, the first couple of, probably like the first month and a half, I was out there. I'd be, whatever emotion I felt that moment, that's what I went out there and released. So if I'm shooting, I might be out there screaming. Or I might be out there just crying, just tears just falling down my face. That's what emotion I felt. That was my way of getting the emotion out. I would do that in the shower, too. I'd be in the shower. Sometimes I'd be in the shower, just be crying. That was my way of getting it out.
Gotcha.
But when I started to realize, I started walking. I was walking as well. So I would do, talk to God as I'm walking. But I stopped going outside to shoot as much. So maybe I was going out there 3-4 times a week. I would maybe only go out there once.
Got it. So anywhere along your process, did you hear God give you a word to encourage you?
Oh, of course. I got
Really?
it every time I was out there shooting. Or if I was on a walk, if I was in the shower and thinking about it. He was comforting me, and I just needed that.
Okay.
I needed that from God at that moment.
Gotcha.
But that was my way of getting it.
Right.
I didn't go to a therapist or
Right.
something. Not saying you don't go to a therapist.
Right,
I'm
right.
definitely not saying
Right,
that.
right,
yo.
right.
But that was my way of dealing with it because that was the only way I knew how to.
Absolutely.
As a coach, that's the only thing I knew. Basketball was kind of my sanction. That was my sanctuary where I was at peace.
I love that.
So that's what got me there.
Right. So just over time.
Just over time, I just stopped going out there. Matter of fact, I don't even go out there shoot no more now.
Right.
I'm done.
Well, no, the other day you went out and I came flying out there because I was like, "What do you?"
I was just shooting to be shooting. That wasn't a therapy section.
I was like, "Hold it up now." I hit the ball.
I have told her. I said, if I'm outside shooting, I'm probably got something on my mind. But no, that day I was I think I was waiting for you to get dressed or something. So I was just out there shooting while I was waiting for you. So it wasn't nothing on that one. No therapy session on that one.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing that story. That is really good. I'm sorry. You can go ahead with what you.
So what I was saying is the concept of how to handle the dual emotions. Mm-hmm. Like some people feel like it's not okay to think about your past, to think about, in my case, think about my wife and be in a new relationship. They don't think that's natural, or they don't think that's normal. It's completely fine to feel nostalgia from your past. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The past is your past. Right. It's gonna be there. Right. It's shaped who you are.
Right.
So there's no point to try to deny it. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. Like we even had a conversation on the last portion of this episode was I was thinking about taking to a restaurant that I used to take my wife to. Mm-hmm. And you was like, oh no, I like that kind of food, so let's go.
Right.
In my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to ask you to go there because that was something I shared with her.
Right.
I want to make everything different here. Mm-hmm. But if you like that food, I like that food. What's wrong with it?
Right.
You was like, no, I'm good. We can go. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person. And there are maybe some people like
some
that.
People are. Some people
they're
are
triggered by those things and they feel like your past needs to be, removed and everything. But I feel like kind of what you said, that we are shaped by our past. We are shaped by our experiences. That don't mean we get stuck there, but I have to know, not just in this case, but I'm just saying overall, I have to know what you experience. You have to know what I experienced in the past so we can be able to help each other and have an understanding of sometimes this is how I am because of what I experienced in my past. And I think a very helpful conversation you and I had, it was, I think probably 2 weeks ago, I had asked you, I think we were just talking, I had asked you to tell me about like your childhood, like who you grew up with and at what age and what phase were you with such and such and such. And it helped you see. And maybe, I remember we had this conversation and I was like, oh, okay. I see why maybe now you parent your children the way that your dad parented you because you saw that. It was just you and your dad in the household and you saw how he parented you and how things were. So I get how you can become the person or how you have become the person that you are today because of those pasts. But oftentimes we don't dive deeper into people's past to have a clear understanding about it. And I remember the very first time I got married and my pastor had told me, he said, go back for the next 24 hours and write down everything that you see your fiance, your husband, we were married at that particular time, everything that your husband sees in his parents or how his parents operate. And I did the exercise, right? I'm thinking this is foolish. Come on, Pastor. Like, you got me sitting around here looking at his parents. I don't care nothing about his parents and what they doing right. They've been married 30 plus years. Like, they got it going on. And when I wrote the information down and I came back and I saw it, and I was like, oh, golly, McMolly.
Not golly, McMolly.
This
really?
is the same thing that I'm experiencing. And I didn't realize that history does repeat itself. It does repeat itself
unless you break that cycle.
Exactly.
Like there's one thing I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good.
But there's one thing we talked about. So yes, I way I grew up is where I grew up with my father. But my father was a workaholic.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows Gene Wendell Campbell, you know
the whole government
name. You know he is a workaholic. Love him to death for his work ethic. That's one thing I definitely did take from him. I will work my butt off if I have to. But one thing that I didn't was it was like he was never there for important things.
And you felt that.
And I felt that. And that was one thing I said, I'm breaking that curse. I'm not doing that with my kids. So I'm at everything. I think during high school, I might have missed one of Jelani's soccer games and one of Colin's soccer games. Every other one, I was there.
Right.
So I want to always keep in mind the past is the past. It's shaped who I am, but I can still conform and make it better or make it different.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
but I think a big part of that, babe, is something that you said, and a lot of people sometimes we don't do because it just don't feel right, is a self-reflection. You look back and you said, okay, this is what I did see. This is how I did. I was brought up. However, I didn't like this particular part. So I need to make sure that I change it. so like myself, my mom raised me, and I live with my grandmother, and I live with all my cousins and stuff like that in a huge house. And I was like, oh, it's okay, but everybody's sleeping on couches and stuff like that. Like, I just don't like that.
You feel like
And
you're on top.
Now now I'm a family person because of it, but I also like having my own. And that could be a reason, now that I'm saying it, that could be a reason why I like my own space, because I didn't have my space growing up. So that could be something.
That definitely is.
Yeah. But in the midst of that, I learned some of these things that I'm seeing and I'm feeling, I don't want to repeat these things. And my mom always told me, go to school, work hard, and get a good job. So that was embedded in me. Like, I was going to college, I was going to do well in school, and I worked hard. I wasn't probably at school all the time, but I graduated with 4-point plus, went to college, did well in college, went back to school for a master's, and said, I'm getting a great job, and kept moving up until I got the job that I wanted to be able to sustain me and my family. But I say that to say, if I didn't see the things that I didn't like and I didn't recognize those things, I still would have been in that same cycle doing the same thing. Yeah. Kind of like what you said about your family. Growing up in Calvert County, there's nothing to do after you finish school.
No.
So you were like, you're going to get in trouble.
I call it being stuck in the mud.
Oh, wow.
And any cousins that I have talked to know I say this. The moment you graduate high school, leave Calvert County. I say that all the time. I say that with all honesty. Because I understand if you stay there, you're stuck in the mud. You're gonna be doing the same thing every time. It's routine because there's nothing going on in Calvert County. There's nothing really to do.
Okay.
There's not, no entertainment. There's no bowling alleys. There's no nice bars. I mean, you want to call a tiki bar one? I wouldn't, but okay. There's really nothing to do there.
Got it.
So you're there. What do you think? I don't have nothing to do. I'm either gonna smoke, drink, or have a lot of sex. What else am I going to do?
Wow. Okay.
Or as my man Gina would say.
No, please not today.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Jesus, not today.
But that's all you got. I tell all my cousins the moment they graduate, please get out of Calvert County. Please.
Right. But like I said, I think that goes back to reflecting and knowing, okay, what I saw is something I didn't like. So I'm going to make a change for the better. Yeah. And I think that's good. Me
in high school, I wasn't staying around there anyway.
Okay.
I would be up here in PG County and other counties because I had females in those areas.
Area codes, right.
So I was there.
Area codes.
I would disappear for weeks at a time and just be out and about. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's get. That's neither here nor there. That ain't important. That part of the past.
I'm just joking.
That part of the past ain't that good. Ain't that important. Right. But let's talk about healing versus creating new traditions. So let me ask this question. How do you build a new life together while honoring the scars that we both carry? Because we both have, scars from our past relationship. Mine, of course, the loss. Yours.
The loss, too. Yeah. So, I think most importantly is that we just have to create new memories. And that's not to say that you have to delete or no longer pay honor to the previous memories that you created, right? But you don't want to live in a space where you're just like, oh, that happened 20 years ago and you're stuck there. You don't have anything from the last 20 years to now.
Right. No, that's true.
Because unfortunately, life goes on, right?
It does.
I can't call the people that I owe bills to and say, guess what? I was in a divorce 5 years ago, They don't care. That's the harsh reality of it, right?
That is true.
The world does not care. So you have to pick yourself up and keep on going. So I think we have to understand that, yes, we do have history. We do have those moments that we always forever keep in our heart, reminisce on and have. But you also got to move forward with making new memories. Because it's not fair for us. I can't sit back and be like, okay, the only last thing I remember is 10 years ago when I went with my ex to Mexico. We had a great time. And you're like, hold up. Are you there or are you here?
Right. No.
Yeah, you could say, okay, y'all went to Mexico, you had a good time. However, we're doing this, and these are our new memories that we're creating together. I think it's easy for us to create memories because we're always doing something.
That is true.
So it's not like
that is very true.
We're sitting around just twiddling our thumbs. We're always doing something. We're always trying to find ways to do things with the children. And if we like what we see, it's like we want to do it more, right? So like last Thanksgiving, I think it was, we decided to stay in the home and do Thanksgiving together. Or maybe we did it the day before Thanksgiving or something of that nature.
I think we
It was
did.
on
I think
Thanksgiving Day,
Thanksgiving, yeah.
And then we played games and all the kids were engaged. We found ways to engage them. We did a karaoke edition
Yep.
of a game, and then we did some TikTok games that they like, and they enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time ever, it felt great that we didn't have to travel from family to family. We just could have our own little moment in the house, and you cooked all the food, and it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, that's something that we probably want to implement all the time
Going
now, or
forward.
yearly, yeah. So I think what you do is just you find new things, and you have to keep looking to the things. Us, we kind of go on walks. That's been our thing. We connect a lot with nature. We
We love music.
yeah, we love music.
Love
definitely.
dancing.
We love dancing. So concerts or any kind of musical or something like that with music, we're there. Like that's just our thing. We connect through that. We take rides. We listen to music. We go through albums and just be singing the songs to each other. Or we take rides and we just sit there and we're not talking. I mean, we're just sitting there. We're talking
We're
the
just
entire
talking,
time.
yeah. Like we did
went
that
to
the other day.
Tennessee.
Oh.
Then we go to Tennessee.
You went to Tennessee?
An 8-hour drive. Ended up being like
No. We didn't. We flew there, but
Where did we drive to?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
We
Sorry.
drove to
Yes, we
Connecticut.
drove to
Yes.
Connecticut. That ended up being like 9 hours
like
or something.
7, 8, 9. It probably was
Because I think
9
we
hours.
stopped.
We
or
stopped a
something.
couple
Yeah.
of times.
The entire time, we didn't even turn the radio on.
Yep, we just talked the whole entire
We
trip. And when
were
we
just-
looked, we were there. We were like, oh, dang, we
How
here
did we
already.
get? Yes.
It didn't feel like 9 hours because we were just kind of vibing and just enjoying the conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll pick up and do a road trip in a heartbeat. We try to do memories through birthdays, definitely, because I'm big on those type of celebrations. We try to, I think soon, when we get into our space together, Christmas will be a lot easier and better.
It will be.
More fun for the children. But I think we're reminded that we deserve those new memories.
We do. We do. So since you're talking about the new memories, let me touch on this. Let me ask this question before we move on. How do you identify triggers? Like being all in our business. Me and Baby had a dust up a couple weeks ago.
Man, baby. I can like it's a little baby.
You can be big baby, little baby, sexy baby, you all the babies.
Thank you, boo.
You
Thank
have
you,
all
baby.
the babies too.
Thank you, baby.
No.
Oh, Lord.
So, but how do you identify triggers from your past? Like we got into this dust up, and it didn't go well the first time. And then we tried to revisit the conversation, and it proceeded to get heated again the second time. It wasn't until we was able to both calm down, have that conversation a third time, that I was able to hear, which I've probably heard before, but in the midst of this situation, I didn't hear it, where you have told me numerous times, I don't like when you yell. And I say this all the time. I'm not yelling. I said, I will let you know what yelling sounds like when you hear it. I said, I'm not yelling at you. But to you, it perceives to be coming off as yelling. And you said you experienced that when you were younger. Everybody in the family and things, that's how they were talking. You didn't like that. So you didn't even hear the first or the second time we tried to have the conversation.
Right.
At all. Because you said my tone was just, if it appeared like I was yelling. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not yelling at you. So now I'm getting upset because I'm not yelling. I'm trying to tell you something, but you're not hearing me.
Right.
And then I'm not hearing you because you've done your shutdown thing. So now both of us are in a mood or in a place that we don't need to be because of our past.
Right.
Those triggers that we do still have that will come up. It is what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
We both have our own defense mechanisms. And if we're in what we consider a dust up, we go there from time to time and get defensive.
We do.
We do.
We do.
But I think this last time was really telling to both of us because the one thing that I got from this was patience is important when it comes to us in a conversation.
And the one thing that I got from it is that we can't lead these conversations in our flesh. We have to lead them spiritually.
Yes, that was the one thing.
That was the big thing that I had taken from it. Because again, like you said, we have triggers. We have past triggers. We have past experiences. We're used to doing things how we've done them. And that's just normal for anybody,
totally
right?
natural.
Right. If you used to been driving your car this way the entire time for the last 20 years, somebody get in your car and be like, why are you driving with one hand instead of two? You like, this is how I've been always
I've been
doing it.
doing it
I
all
ain't
the
getting
time,
nothing wrong with it. Right. So when you're trying to bring two people to become one, we have to sit down and have those conversations. I don't like it when you do this. I don't like it when you do that. And we have to hear each other.
And
Go
that's
ahead.
that was probably the most important thing. First of all, we prayed before we started the third
We
one.
had to.
We did.
Yeah.
And
Because we recognized
it was bigger than us. It
Yeah.
definitely was bigger than us.
And every time that we tried alone in our flesh, it just
wouldn't go there.
We just couldn't. And I think the second time I was going to say, the second time we were on the phone, you was like, I am really trying to stay calm with you right now.
No, yeah, the second time
Yes.
I was literally like, I'm intentionally not yelling. But it still went
came,
there.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And I was intentionally not yelling. I was like,
And I had to shut it. I was
hey,
like,
I just think I was so soft.
this.
But it still wasn't working. But
said, no,
I
we're gonna have
think
to table
I
this.
think what happened, and I think this might be a turning point for us. I don't know what you think, but this is just me. I think we literally came to a bigger understanding, a
Realization.
clearer view of why we do have dust ups. And I think one thing that you said that really set with me, you was like, I understand now. You're not trying to hurt me. I know you love me. It was just the way it was coming, the way I heard it.
Right.
It wasn't the fact that I think that you don't love me no more or you don't want to be with me no more, nothing
Right.
like that. It was just the simple fact of how I was saying it.
Yeah.
And the same thing from my perspective. I was like, I know she loves me. It's just everything she has going on right now, it's just overwhelming to her. And for me, I was like, I really have to look at myself and pay attention to what she's saying. Not how she's saying it.
Right.
But what she's saying.
Exactly.
Because if both of us just listened to what we were actually saying, we were both in the midst of trying to resolve the issue.
Of course.
But we just wouldn't let it happen because we were too busy in our feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
and it's something we're passionate about.
It is.
So I think because the love that we have and the level that we have, oftentimes that takes us to places bigger because, think about it, it's something you're very passionate about. You're very passionate about basketball, excuse me. We go to a basketball game or whoever, your emotions are high because that's your thing. You're coaching, your emotions, although you have them intact when you're coaching the kids, but you're very passionate about that.
No.
So you're going to see a different TC than you would normally see. He's locked in, he's focused, and he ain't playing no game.
That's true.
It's going to be a different beast than what you get every day when he kiki, ha ha, can playing around. He's cool, he chill. Then it's a whole nother dynamic. So the same thing with our love, the same thing with me. When I'm reading a book, I'm in my book club, or I'm doing something I love, I'm very passionate about. I'm teaching, I'm doing something. That's what I am. I'm focused, I'm locked in. So me going around playing, hitting on you, you're not getting that because I'm locked in. So the same thing with our love. When we had those conversations, we're both so focused on just that. It's like, I got to get my point across. I got to say how I feel. I got. And we're not sitting back listening to the other person because we're so quick to say what we want, what we need.
In our head already thinking about what our defense mechanism is going to be. How we going to defend ourselves from what's being said to us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think we that conversation was, as I say all the time, God preparing us. He was like, okay, y'all still got some work to do. So here we go. Let me let something pop up real quick just so I can get y'all to see some more things that y'all still kind of glossing over.
Yeah.
So once again, God prepares you for what is ahead of you and you don't even realize it.
But we have to do a better job of realizing it.
We do.
So when we get to a place when we have a dust up or we're seeing it manifest or seeing it about to happen, we need to stop.
And sorry to tag in this, but that was one thing that you said when you heard the second conversation going where it should you just said, all right, babe, let's just table this because I feel like we're both going back to where we weren't trying to go to.
And see, the thing is, though, with you, and I'm glad that you mentioned patience because you know how you are. When you feel it, you want to resolve it right then and
talk
there.
it out.
Me saying, babe, let's wait, you feel like that's dismissive or that's putting it on the back burner, or that's me shutting you down. And it's not because at the point is, if we're going to have the conversation, we can, but if you're still at that level, I'm just going to sit there and look at you. And I think a lot of the time, the last two conversations we had, that's all that I did.
And that moment was me, and this is growth per usual. That was me. I looked at it, and instead of seeing, oh, she don't want to talk about it, she ducking the conversation right now. I said, no, that's probably a good idea right now. And I don't know if that kind of leveled you down as well, but just understanding and seeing it clearly for once.
Yeah,
this is not going to go well.
Yeah,
and normally I would still try to have a conversation, but I quickly just. No, you're right. Let's just table it until we both are ready to actually have this conversation.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful.
Yeah, no, it really
It really was.
The third time, three
Right.
strikes you're out.
Three times the charm, as they say. Three times the charm. All right. Well, let me ask this. We have one question that a listener.
So sorry, did I answer your question when you were saying identifying the triggers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just having patience instead of frustration is probably the most important thing when it comes to triggers.
Right. But also for us to understand the triggers,
Right.
right? So we had those conversations too, how
We
in the
did.
past, when things got heated for me, I did shut down because I'm not meeting somebody at that energy level. And I didn't like when people talk aggressively to me because I grew up in a household with just so much shouting and yelling and all hooping and hollering. Now with
And
my
I would literally
parents,
be
it was
sitting there like, I'm not yelling, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get I want to be heard. That's it.
Right. But the way that you wanted to be heard was not
Wasn't
the
working
way
for you.
that I was going to proceed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to pay attention to that when it comes to your partner.
Yeah.
Even like
Because
they say
that's
with love
effective
language. Even
communication.
like they say with love languages. You got to meet that person with the love language
They
they
want.
want, not what you want.
Absolutely.
Same with the communication. You got to meet them in the way they like to be talked to.
Right.
And not the way you are used to talking to
Right.
people.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
for us, both of those are growth situations. They are.
growing moments, definitely. Yeah. And they're essential. But I think the best part was that God allowed us to realize, okay, those first two dust ups, they did not go well. And here is why.
Here's why.
Yeah.
Here's exactly why.
Exactly. So we can understand that and move forward. So now I know with you, you do want to have the conversation when it happens. So Nikita, Kiki, you have to make sure that we are having a conversation.
Or at least, I think I told you this, and you said, I'll work on that. You was like, at least tell me there's a problem. Just say, hey,
Acknowledging
baby,
the
I'm not
issue.
ready to talk about it right now, but I have a problem.
Right, absolutely.
And the problem is X, Y, and Z.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, because you want to know.
Because I want to know. Because I'm sitting there like, what did I do? I have no clue what I did. I'm thinking everything's fine, and you sitting there just quiet. And I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the main thing that we definitely got out of that. So let me ask this. It's just one question. And it's a deep one, so let me know what you think. How do I know? This is what the person asked. How do I know I'm ready to love again without hurting someone else?
That's really good. My answer would be once you've healed yourself, you have to heal the holes that you have in yourself because otherwise you're going to continue to hurt other people. So if you just saying, okay, I got this issue, and I'm just going to take it to the next person, you're just going to do the same thing. History is just going to repeat itself because you haven't done the healing portion within yourself. So you first need to do that. Secondly, I would say, for me, this is just my answer. I will pray and ask God, am I ready now? Am I ready to love again? Can I be open to love someone? Because I don't want to hurt them. So I need to become whole. I need to do the work within myself first. And I think that that's the beauty in relationships when a person can identify that I have issues, I have problems, I need to solve these problems, I need to address these problems so I can be a better person for you. Yeah. And we even had that identification when it came to the pride. And you were like, I don't know why God is breaking me down in this area. But I do know, and I remember him telling me, and this is from you, that I could not bring that into our new relationship. And you knew that. So you knew that was something that you had to fix, you had to heal, you had to grow in, because otherwise that pride and that ego would have continuously have hurt our relationship.
Yep, and I didn't want to do that. And I say this is what happens normally, y'all. So if you are a certain kind of way, I'm X, Y, Z years old, and I've been doing this all my life, as they say. The moment adversity pops up, you go back and revert to who you used to be.
Oh, yeah.
You go back to what you were used to doing.
Because it's safe.
Because it's safe. Because
and
you
that's
used
what
to
you
doing
know.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When, if you're trying to, as they say, become a new creature in God, you don't go back there. That's the hardest thing to try to do, is not go back to someplace you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And we both have come to the conclusion, we don't want to be comfortable. That's why we try to do things that we do, the loving things. We don't want to ever feel content in this relationship where one of us feel like, oh, well, I'm just an afterthought.
Right. Or just routine.
I don't matter. We never want the other person to feel like that. So that's why we are intentional about the things that we do. Going places, doing things together, trying to set aside some time just for us. Yes, we are busy. Both of us are busy with our kids. But we still try to make sure we find time for just us.
Yeah.
And
It's
it can
important.
be something fun. It can be something business wise. It can be whatever. We
A
try
hobby,
to find
something
time.
like- yeah.
Right. We try
But you
to
know,
find
it's
time.
amazing that, and it's really surprising, especially with marriages, that I hear so many couples saying, we haven't been on a date together. We haven't even been on a vacation together because they're
Right.
so,
Busy with the routine day to day.
or not only that, they're just so caught up on the children. And I feel
That's
like,
true.
and this is the thing that I know we're not talking about, but my ex and I, we made sure that we were intentional about, even if you did have the kids and kids were young, you can buy a babysitter, you can get a babysitter, you still go and make time for yourself.
Most
you know,
definitely.
and that's what we do. Like, there's been times where everything has been chaotic, and we would just be cracking up and like, you know what, we're running away
Right. We go and get in the car and just drive
and just
for a
go
little
somewhere.
bit.
Yeah.
The kids like, where y'all going?
Yeah,
No,
you're
don't
not
worry
coming.
about it. Just
Yeah.
like that.
Y'all
We good.
stay right
We'll
on
be
and
back.
do what you're doing. Yeah.
And we'll go ride somewhere or go to a store and walk around
Yeah.
or whatever it is just to get some peace
Yes.
for just
But
us.
I just want to tell couples to make sure you prioritize each other, because your kids are going to grow old. They're going to
They're
leave your
gonna leave
home.
you home and you don't know that person you live
And
with.
then you sitting here like, this has been the person I've been with for the last 20 some years. And that's why I think divorces are high when, like they said, kids start getting 18, 19
Because
years
once
old.
they leave, they don't know that person.
They don't know that person because
they're like,
y'all
no.
invested so much time in these kids, and that's great. Yes, your children deserve that life, but your relationship, your marriage, deserves it just as much.
Well, if
because
you look
your
at the
children
hierarchy,
need to see
it goes God, man, woman, and then the kids.
children. Exactly.
A
Yeah.
lot of that always gets mixed up where it's God, sometimes the kids.
Yeah, and then
then myself.
Exactly.
And then you.
exactly, or vice
As the
versa.
husband. Or
Right.
as the wife.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
It shouldn't be that way.
No. So I'm just,
Especially when we are getting married and we're becoming one flesh.
or you are one flesh
Right.
now.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying we're-
yeah. There are couples that have never gone even a night stay together. Like, I've gone
That's
around
true.
and I'm polling couples, and they've been married 15 plus years.
My husband don't take me nowhere.
Oh, we can't go because the kids. What?
Mm-hmm.
Granny can come over. Great granny. Listen, y'all can bring them over here.
Nah,
We're watching.
Hold on now.
Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry.
We gotta make some time for us, baby. We
Baby.
can't be babysitting
Lord
everybody's
have
kids
mercy,
now.
Baby. I ain't say Eric. I'm just saying. I need the
You
people-
just said
I need the
they.
people
You
to-
said they can bring it. They is a large group, baby.
He ain't going for that, y'all.
No.
I love the kids. No, but find some way. Get a cousin, get someone in it. Them kids are not going to suffer, I promise you,
For a couple
for 2
hours.
days.
For a couple hours. They good.
You don't understand the impact. And you and I have gone places. I think we went somewhere and we were like, oh my God. I think it was Florida when we last went in May or something like that. We came back and we was like, we didn't know we needed that time
We
away.
just needed that. And then we went down there with a purpose, of course.
Yeah, of
'cause
course.
Baby girl was cheering,
Right. We
but
spent.
we spent time with us.
We did.
We
Yeah.
showed up to the
Yeah.
cheer event,
Yeah.
cheered and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but we
We
had
went to
time
dinner.
for just us.
Yeah, we went out to the pool in the morning. We sat out. We were just, and it was like, geez, we really
We just
needed
needed that.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
that downtime to just, you was reading your books at the you know at the pool and I'm just chilling. We in the hot tub at night. We just enjoyed each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need that. Okay.
I'm gonna let you get to that quickie, baby.
So the quickie is, for those of you who have started over after a major life shift, what was the exact moment you realized you were finally ready to let love back into your heart? And how did you handle the fear that came with it? So do us a favor and share your story with us in the comments or send us fan mail. But TC going to take the lead and answer from his perspective.
The first time I kissed you,
Oh, what did you feel?
I felt them sparks that I ain't never felt before. And I ain't, no, this is not, no, seriously, this is not a lustful or sexual thing. I felt it was like our souls intertwined when we kissed. I felt something that I've never felt before. I was like, this is different. This is very different. So that's mine. And fear, I didn't have that fear part.
Right, yeah.
Because I think I told you fairly easy. I'm going to marry you. Or fairly quickly.
Oh.
Or early in the relationship. You ain't want to hear that,
No.
but it is what it is. She about to be Mrs. Campbell.
That's what he say.
So what would be your answer to that, baby?
I would say the exact moment when I think I was ready to let love back into my heart. Yeah, definitely was when you told me. Actually, you had sent
When I
me a
made
text.
breakfast for you?
Boy, please.
It wasn't when I made breakfast for
Yes, of course, honey bunny. Lord help us
you?
on
He
this
can cook.
podcast.
He can cook. Look at that.
It wasn't
That's
that.
a oh, you ain't like my breakfast?
I did like your breakfast.
Okay. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to
Y'all
cut
know
you
what
off.
he really talking about. But anyway,
I'm talking about bacon and eggs.
we know. We know.
Bacon and eggs.
Yep. No. But you had told me in a text message, you was like, I'm gonna make you the happiest woman in the world. And I just glanced over it. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
and
texted.
then-
I said I want to learn. I want to learn how to love you.
Yeah, and
the
then
way
you
you
had,
deserve to be loved.
Yeah. No, you had actually told me on the telephone.
Well, yeah.
You were like, I want to make you the happiest woman in the world. And I was like, what? He was like, I need to learn to love you. So tell me. And that's when you had kind of like allowed me to be vulnerable. You were like, you have to tell me everything that you experienced so I can know and learn how to love you. And
So
I was
what
like,
things are triggers, what are not.
yeah,
what-
and I was
what you
like, to
what
me,
you
that's
don't
just what's like, wow. Like, I don't mind giving you my heart or allowing you to love me because I know that you value that love and it's important because you want to learn how to love me. And I think that was a pivotal moment for us.
All right, thank you, baby. Well, y'all out there, please share y'all comments on the topic if you don't mind. We would appreciate that. So please let us know how you knew if you've dealt with loss, you knew you were ready to love again. So take us out of here, baby, or you want me to take us out of here? So we're going to say thank you to all of the All in Our Business podcast listeners. We appreciate you listening in to this 2-part series. Sorry, it went a little longer than we anticipated on the first one, so we had to finish. We wanted to finish this because we thought it would be impactful to folks who have dealt with what we've dealt with. So, but join us next week as we discuss Post Me or Do You Hate Me? We talk about, and we've seen this, folks who are on social media, you might see the man hand. You never see the man. Or you cover him with one of those emojis.
Right.
You never see his face.
Right.
So do you really love me that you can't even show me on social media, or is that a healthy thing for y'all? Red flag or healthy thing? Let us know. So that's what we're talking about next week.
Conversation.
So be sure to listen in if you sitting there hiding your man. Maybe it ain't your man. That's why you hiding it.
Yeah,
We're going to leave that alone.
We're going to talk about it.
All right. But yeah, we thank y'all for listening in. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.